Welcome back to my true stories and from my book Confessions of a Salesman. In sales, one of the most important parts of any appointment is the first few minutes, breaking the ice, building rapport, making the customer feel comfortable. Over the years, salespeople have come up with all sorts of creative ways to do this. Some are more effective than others. During my time selling adjustable beds, one particular technique was encouraged to help create a warm and friendly introduction. Before attending the appointment, we would stop and buy a nice cream or an ice cake. Then, when we arrived at the customer's house, we would present it as a small, thoughtful gesture. The line usually went something like this. "The lady from the office said you sounded really nice, so I thought I'd bring you a little something to cheer you up." It was simple, disarming, and surprisingly effective. Most customers would smile, invite you in, and often offer a cup of tea. It helped create a relaxed atmosphere right from the start. Of course, like many sales techniques, it didn't always go to plan. On one particular occasion, I arrived at a customer's house with the usual cake in hand. Everything was going smoothly. The introduction was friendly. The customer seemed pleased. And as I stepped inside, I was feeling confident. Then it happened. The cake slipped. Before I could react, it fell from my hands and landed upside down on the carpet. Fresh cream everywhere. Not just a small mess, a proper mess. For a moment, everything went quiet. The customer looked down at the carpet, then back at me. I tried to recover the situation as best I could, but there's only so much you can say when you've just redecorated someone's floor with fresh cream. The warm, friendly introduction I had planned had turned into something else entirely. Looking back, it's quite funny. At the time, it wasn't quite so amusing, and it also marked the beginning of the end for that particular technique. Not long after, practices like bringing gifts were frowned upon and eventually stopped altogether as they were seen as a form of inducement. But for me, that moment stayed memorable for a different reason. Because it reminded me that in sales, no matter how carefully you plan your opening, sometimes things can fall apart before you even get started, quite literally. If you like my stories and want to hear more, please subscribe to my channel.